My dear friend, have you ever promised yourself, this time will be different? I won't let myself fall into temptation again. I will overcome it. Yet only a few days or even hours later, you find yourself slipping back into the same old path? Especially with lust, a desire so intense yet so silent, weaving its way through every corner of your mind. Lust is one of the strongest temptations a person can face. It doesn't need to knock. It quietly slips in, takes over your thoughts, and makes you feel like resistance is impossible. Maybe you've tried deleting apps, making vows to yourself, even praying. But then, it comes back stronger, more persistent. Why is lust so hard to conquer? And more importantly, how can you overcome it once and for all? Lust, not just an action but a battle in the mind. The Bible makes this clear. In Matthew 5 verse 28, Jesus said, "Anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart." This means lust is not only about actions, it begins in your mind, in your heart. Many people think sin only happens when you do something wrong. But in reality, lust begins much earlier, with a look, a thought, a moment of imagination. Once it takes root, it grows quickly, controlling your mind and pulling you farther than you ever intended to go. Modern neuroscience agrees. When exposed to sexually stimulating images, the brain releases dopamine, the neurotransmitter of pleasure. The brain remembers that reward, and with each repetition the habit becomes more deeply ingrained. Like a path in the forest, the more you walk it, the harder it is to escape. That's why lust is not just a physical struggle, it is a spiritual and mental battle. The Bible tells us about Joseph, a young man working in the house of Potiphar in Egypt. Potiphar's wife tried to seduce him day after day. What would you have done in his place? Many might excuse themselves thinking, just once won't hurt. But Joseph didn't sit there fighting the temptation in his head. He ran. He literally ran out of the room, leaving his cloak behind. This is a critical lesson. When it comes to lust, you don't negotiate, you don't argue, you don't test yourself. You flee. In 2 Timothy 2 verse 22, Paul wrote, "Flee the evil desires of youth and pursue righteousness, faith, love and peace." Do you see? The Bible doesn't say, try to resist. It says flee. Why? Because lust is not something you can debate or measure strength against. It's like standing before a tsunami, you cannot reason with it. You can only escape and keep yourself far from danger. So how do you conquer lust? 1. Change what you feed your mind. Lust grows when it is fed. If you constantly watch suggestive shows, scroll through social media without boundaries, or let your thoughts wander unchecked, you're feeding the beast inside. Philippians 4 verse 8 tells us, "Think about whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable." This means you must intentionally choose what you allow into your mind. Science calls this neuroplasticity. Your brain reshapes itself through habits. Repeated actions strengthen neural connections. Starved habits weaken. I recall a man in his 40s addicted to pornography. Every night that was his way to relieve stress. But his marriage grew cold, his self-worth crumbled. He began changing small things. No phone in the bedroom, reading books instead, praying and picking up guitar again. It was brutally hard at first, but over time his desire for pornography weakened, because he changed the diet of his mind. 2. Replace lust with a deeper hunger for God. Here's the truth, lust cannot be defeated by emptiness. You can't just say, "I won't think about it," and leave a void. That void will quickly be filled by lust itself. You must replace it with a deeper desire, the desire for God. Psalm 37 verse 4 says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." When you find true joy in God, through prayer, His Word and fellowship, false desires lose their power. I remember a middle-aged woman who was addicted to online romances. She spent hours talking to strangers, feeling wanted and admired. But when she met them in real life, everything collapsed, leaving her emptier than before. That was until she joined a Bible study group and reconnected with God. For the first time in years, she felt a lasting satisfaction, not from people but from the Creator Himself. 3. Don't fight alone. Lust thrives in secrecy. The more you hide it, thinking, "No one will ever know," the more power it holds over you. But James 5 verse 16 says, "Confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed." This means you need a trusted friend, someone to walk with you, to hear your struggles and to pray with you. In psychology, this is called an accountability partner. Studies show that when you have someone walking with you, your chances of overcoming destructive habits double, or even triple. I once knew a small group of fathers who started a 5 a.m. club. Every morning they called each other, read the Bible together online, and shared their struggles. One man confessed, "If not for this group, I would have fallen many times. But because of my brothers, I got back up." Lust, the enemy but also a reminder. Most people see lust as an enemy. But I want you to consider this: lust can also be a reminder. It reminds you that you are hungry, not physically but spiritually. You're searching for satisfaction but looking in the wrong place. It's like when your body is thirsty, you might drink soda, coffee, alcohol. They give momentary relief but never truly quench your thirst. Only pure water can. In the same way, lust promises satisfaction, but only God can truly quench the deep thirst of your soul. My dear friend, lust is like a fire. Left unchecked, it will burn down your life, your relationships, your self-worth, even your soul. But if directed rightly, it can become light, a guide toward faithful love, purity, and freedom. Remember 3 things. Don't feed lust. Change what you allow into your mind. Replace lust with the hunger for God. He alone satisfies. Don't fight alone. Seek community, support, and prayer. This battle is not easy, but you are not alone. God has already given you everything you need to win. The question is, will you keep feeding lust, or will you step into the freedom that is already yours in Him?